Hello everyone and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 56. Today is Sunday, September 14th, 2014, and welcome. Coffee. It is incredibly cool this weekend. Yesterday, I think the high only made it to maybe like 70 or something like that. And it's not like it's that hot or whatever. It's not hot today either. So it's sort of funny to be out and about and like people are wandering around, sort of like in February, March or something like that, when winter, it starts to feel like winter's broken. Around here, people are wandering around like, oh my gosh, it feels like summer is broken. So definitely can't complain about that. So I get to wear knitting outside and is happy. But since it is so cold, it's sort of the case where, like, well, cold would probably not be the right word. It's cool out, so it's really nice to have, like, coffee in my hands, but I need to show you guys what I did this week, so I'll have to put it down. So I think I'll start off with finished objects today. I finished my dragon. It's so exciting. So this is Joris. It is a very adorable little dragon thing. And then, seems to be typical with me, I seem to knit all of my hair into it, so I'm just going to blend that out. But isn't it cute? So Joris will be staying with me, and Joris is going to sit on my desk, probably on a shelf or something like that. Because I think the short answer is that I needed a purple dragon on my desk, obviously. And Joris is like purples and dark blues, but the photos, I've been using my iPhone to take photos, and it seems impossible in order to get a really good one. For whatever reason, I'm not sure. But, I realized I had come across the end, which I had sort of hidden in the dragon. So, the modification I made was I added a tail. So, I don't know if I would have done the same thing knowing how it would be stuffed, but it ends up looking pretty good and uniform. And it was definitely a bit like laparoscopic surgery at the end. Like it's pretty hard to get all of the stuffing in all the places it needs to be, and I ended up needing to do a little bit of weaving in on the shoulders because the stuffing would have definitely shown or would have showed had I not done that. But everything is pretty cute. I ended up getting eyes at Joanne Fabrics, so I ended up getting whatever the safety eyes, and they look really cute. I was afraid that the black eyes would be too dark, but they end up catching the light, and so it really gives the little dragon a lot of personality. So I'm really excited with how it turned out. I don't think my husband wants one, or he thought the head of the dragon was really cool, but he didn't necessarily like the body of the dragon. He thought it looked sort of puny. And that his argument was that dragons should be adorable. Because this dragon seriously is really adorable. And this is my first knit stuffed animal. And it was really fussy and fiddly, but I don't need to wear this dragon. So that ended up filling the need there, which is I didn't really want to knit anything I would wear while it was like 100 out. But really adorable. So cute. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. If I have extra yarn in the future, I would definitely want to, like the tail ended up, like it would definitely be a good idea to, make the tail And this was how much yarn I had left over. You guys can't even see. So I have about this much left over. So I used up as much as I possibly could. Excuse me. What is a like? This was a Stash Buster project. So the colorway I used was or the yarn I used was Mountain Colors Crazy Foot in the Lupine colorway, and I held it doubled, so that ended up giving the dragon like a marled sort of effect. I knit on size 3 double point needles because, what is it? Well, I ended up knitting on size 3 double point needles because I wanted it to be a very dense fabric, and I figured that would be a good thing for, like, fingering held double should normally be about DK weight. What is it? I am really happy with the result, so it'll be sitting on my desk soon. Just put it back underground. It definitely ends up standing up really well. The tail ends up, making a bit of a tripod, which is nice. And I ended up stuffing, ended up being pretty firm with the stuffing, which means it's not maybe as pliable or something like that as you would have. Well, it just wasn't as pliable, so take that as you will. It's a little bit more challenging to arrange the dragon in such and such a way. Oh, and the pictures on Instagram really don't do any justice at all to the colors, so I don't know if I'm going to end up needing to take a lot of pictures over again when I have a point-and-shoot camera instead of an iPhone camera. Because it's annoying to me that I can't get a good photo. Like, I feel like I have very good conditions for photos, and the colors just end up coming out really crazy. Alright, well, I have 2 works in progress, and one of them you've seen before. It is the socks for my grandpa. I am knitting these out of Woolmeister Twin in the Dora, Wazarats, and Grafrats colorways. Just bring that really close to the camera. Yeah, sorry about the craziness with the colors and stuff like that. I'm not sure. Like, it's actually, maybe it's starting to clear up now, but it is fairly overcast. So I was thinking that the camera would be freaking out. These are socks for my grandpa. So I was planning on maybe doing, what is it? So these are 6-inch needles, and I was probably planning on doing 7.5 or 8 inches of this pattern before starting the heel. So that would mean that I have about this much more to knit before I'm done with the leg, which is fine. And I'm not even sure at the moment if I'm really truly following the pattern. Like, at some point there's like a certain logic to it at some point, so it's sort of the case where you have 3 rounds of a color, and then you have 3 rounds of a color, and you have 3 rounds of a color. So I think maybe I'm doing okay on that front, but I might have missed a round of the color, or maybe not. It's hard. It's a little bit hard to read since my colors aren't strongly contrasting. They're reasonably harmonizing, so it's a little bit more challenging to read. But it is coming along. It is the project that stays in my bag. I just haven't had very high knitting mojo this week, so it didn't end up getting a lot of love. Most of the knitting I did this week was actually done yesterday. So I worked on this after I finished doing all the finishing on Joris, and whatever, just did a couple rounds of this pattern. What is it? Yeah, so it continues on. So it is the project that I carry around with me. It's a little bit annoying because what is it? I find, like, I don't have a DPN holder that is the size. Most of my DPNs are actually 7 inches, so my little DPN holder doesn't necessarily contain this guy. So then I end up spending more of my time fixing and getting the stitches back on the needles than I actually do knitting on it, it seems. But it is a good mindless project, so I'll probably end up working on it more this week and stuff like that. Now that I'm no longer distracted by the dragon. And because I'd finished Doris, I decided to start another project, and this one is another one that ended up being, oh, that's such a mess. Oh, I don't even know how in the world I just tangled the yarn down here. Okay. We'll start lifting up and see where that goes. Alright, that looks like I'm mostly free of that. So I ended up starting a shawl that I have had in my library since 2011. The pattern is Frangipani by Kitman Figueroa. It's a bottom-up shawl design, and it's based on the stitch counts and stuff like that. It is meant for, for a skein of wool-misa in like a fingering weight, stuff like that. So I currently have it on my Shagu interchangeables. There might be a chance of disaster we'll end up seeing. The short answer is that I was reading through the pattern and I had misread what needles to use to cast on. So I ended up casting on with a pair of 6s instead of a pair of 9s. And I can't tell at the moment if this is going to be a deal breaker for this pattern or not, having an edge like that. So we shall see. I don't know how much further I would need to get before I'd be able to properly assess if I ended up screwing that up too badly. So I put out a question to some savvy lace knitters and we'll see how it goes from there. Because I'm going to end up I ended up using 2 tails to cast it on because you have to cast on over 300 stitches, so it's like, wow. But so far it's fun. There is a logic to the pattern, so that ends up making it a lot easier to knit. So for example, like the back side is knit the knits and purl the purls, so you don't need to think too bad, or you don't need to think too hard or stress your brain too much while doing that. It has like little twisted stitches and cables, and it is like I'm expecting that this will be a really pretty and lovely shawl. So that is the story there. So it's been sitting around for a long time. I am not sure. Most of my skeins of Stella Polaris are ones that we haven't actually bought a skein. Like, it's all been swaps and trades and stuff like that. So that was whatever. It's nice to be able to use whatever my favorite colorway. Actually knit something with it. I didn't end up doing any spinning this week. My mojo was low. It has been an incredibly busy and crazy week as well, so it was sort of the case where there wasn't as much time as fun as usual. So, oh well, but such is life. But I did end up getting some fiber in the mail. I got my last shipment of Vanessa Fiber Club. This month, the colorway is Vorfruit, and it is a superwash merino silk blend. So here it is in the packaging. So it is maroons and grays and teals and browns and a little bit of green and yellow as well. So very, very cool colorway. And it is also very, very soft as well. I'm really excited that this blend ended up coming up as a part of the club. So now I'm just figuring out a way to sort of show you guys what the colors are if the colors aren't too screwed up today. Where's an end? There's an end. Okay. And so getting it all to match is maybe not too bad in the grand scheme of things. It's not perfectly even in that regard. So the little different, or whatever, the distance between the color repeats is not, what do you say, perfect. But this is what we're looking at here. So we have the gray, the teal, the yellow, the maroon, the browny orange, and then maybe like a darker brown as well. So very, like, I'm really digging this colorway and the way, so I think because you end up getting the mixture of merino and superwash merino, they take dye a little bit differently, so then that ends up being interesting as well. So it is very cool in that regard. But I haven't had a chance to actually spin a blend like this, so very exciting. Obviously, we're coming to, what is it, the end of September. So what is it? I'm probably, since I haven't been showing spinning chocolate Shetland fleece since July, I'm not going to be able to make the Pound-a-thon challenge deadline. But yeah, what can you do? Mostly I was just using it as an excuse to stay motivated about doing a sweater spin. I don't know if the cooler weather is going to inspire me to spin more either. Probably the big thing, at least for me, is just, what is it, having my husband in the same state as me so that we can share the work as opposed to both doing all the work of whatever, keeping things going and stuff like that. What is it? Probably the biggest news and the reason why I was sort of stressed out and didn't have a lot of fun time was that, so sometime, what is it? So after I recorded, I ran off and I looked at a bunch of houses, and then we ended up deciding to fly my husband down and make an offer on one of them. So our offer ended up getting accepted. And so then we had to deal with all of the other stuff that's associated with buying a house, like the pre-approval letter and inspections and counter offers and all that other fun stuff. But we'll be closing October 6th, which isn't too far from now. And I'll be in my own place, which will be super duper exciting. As opposed to being an apartment complex where people look at me like I'm insane, which I probably am insane, but standing whatever, sitting here out on the deck, drinking coffee, showing off my knitting in Dallas, Texas. So I'm super duper excited about, what is it, whatever, getting a house down here and getting my husband down here and finishing up getting our house back in Indiana ready to go. So there might be some craziness in the schedule coming up. because there's probably going to be at least one and probably more, hopefully just one more trip back up there to do things to take care of the house. And what is it? So we'll see how that ends up playing out. I don't know if I'll continue recording on Sundays or not. It was sort of nice to be able to have a day to work on things because my mojo has been low. I've been I've been reading a lot more, which for whatever reason I haven't really felt like knitting while reading at the same time. I'm capable of doing that. I don't know why I haven't. So we'll see if this week ends up being a better knitting and spinning week than last week, because now a lot of the craziness has died down and it'll be a lot easier to do stuff. So that is the story there. I hope you guys all have a lovely week. We'll see if I end up recording on the 21st or the 20th. It could go either way. And I hope you all have a great week. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.